Okay, sorry, we got cut off there. So, if you have transferred to LPS from another school, you'll choose however many schools that is. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two. And then you will look that school up. So if you went to Kennedy, for example, when you search Kennedy, a bunch of schools will pop up. You want it to be the Kennedy in Richmond. And John F. Kennedy High School in Richmond, California will show up. You'll choose that one. And then take a look at your transcript. You'll be able to see from when to when you were at that school. Maybe you know that off the top of your head. If you're unsure, just raise your hand and Miss Sanchez and I can help you figure that out. They also want you to provide some details about why you left each of the above secondary schools. You can write a short explanation about getting off the wait list at LPS Richmond. Just make sure that grammatically it makes sense. Have someone else at your table look over it before you move on. If you did not transfer from another school, if you've been at LPS Richmond the whole time, you're going to choose 0, and that will let you move on. This next section asks you about your college or university coursework. So if you've taken classes at Contra Costa College, you can choose 1. If not, you can choose 0 and move on. If you have taken classes at Contra Costa, you can search Contra Costa and it'll pop up. You are most likely doing a summer program, and you'll choose your start and end date for that. Maybe you started in June of 2015 and ended in July of 2016. You did not earn a degree, and so you will leave that blank and hit continue. After this, it's going to be asking you questions about your grades and your courses, so you do want your transcript to be out in front of you. Your graduating class size is approximately 125 students. We do exact class rank reporting. You're going to look on your transcript for the rank. It shows up in the box under your GPA. It says GPA ranking. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake. It should be 124 for your graduating class size. And so you're going to put your class rank. I'm going to put this. Your rank weighting is weighted. And then you're also going to put your cumulative GPA. So look at your cumulative GPA boxes. You're going to look at the very first one, the academic unweighted GPA, and type that in. Maybe this is my GPA. It's on a 4-point scale, and you are reporting your unweighted GPA. And then you can hit continue to move on. Okay, on this next screen, you're going to be listing all the courses you are taking this year. So for pretty much all of you, you are going to be choosing 7 courses because economics happens in second semester. For the rest of you, you will be, if you are in a TA period currently, you'll be listing 6 courses. So I'm just going to go through adding government and econ first. So for course number 1, you'll put government. For government, that only happens first semester. Course number 2, we'll put economics. That will happen second semester. After you've added those 2 courses, you can add the rest of the courses that you are taking this year. You can add college seminar, but you cannot add a TA period. So all the rest of your classes will be happening for the for the full year, unless you're in a different type of course, in which case call me or Ms. Sanchez over and we'll help you explain. But again, if you're in a TA period or if you are a TA for a period, you are not going to list that course on your schedule. Go ahead and fill that out now. Okay, so double check. Again, if you have an AP course, you'll check the AP button. Otherwise, none of these other categories apply, so do not check any of those other boxes off. If it's a non-AP course, then you'll leave them all blank. Okay. In This next category, if you've received some sort of award for your academic achievement. So for example, if you've received Student of the Year for a class from 9th through 12th grade or 9th through 11th grade, you're going to choose that. So for example, if I was Student of the Year for Algebra 1 in 9th grade, I'm going to list that as my award, and it was a school recognition. If you don't have any of these, that's okay. You can click 0 and move on. In this next box, you're going to list the community-based organizations that you work with. So for example, if you've worked with Summer Search, they will pop up here. You can list the name of your advisor for Summer Search and their contact information. If you have not worked or a program, Genesis Works looks like it also shows up. If you have not worked with a program outside of school, again, that is okay. You can put 0 and just leave that blank. But if you have, do make sure that you list it. If it doesn't pop up here, you can choose other. Just talk with me or Ms. Sanchez if you're unsure whether to list something or not. And then in this next box, you can choose an interest or a career that you are interested in. If you're undecided, that is okay. For most of you, if your highest degree, if you intend to earn a 4-year degree, that is going to be a bachelor's degree. If you hope to pursue a master's, so a 2-year degree after bachelor's, you can choose that. A business degree, law degree, medicine, or a doctorate would be if you really wanted to study one specific topic for a while. And so you're going to answer that to the best of your ability. Okay, in this next box, so notice that my education box turned green because I filled it all out. You're going to write about your testing. So you can self-report your scores. We're going to check yes for that. The scores that you have taken or that you are going to report will include the ACT, the SAT, March 2016 or after. So the second SAT box that pops up. If you've taken SAT subject tests, which not everybody has, but if you have taken them, you'll choose SAT subject tests. If you've taken AP subject tests, if you've taken an AP test, you'll also click on that. So make sure, double check right now that your SAT that you've checked off is March 2016 or after, and click continue. So you have taken the ACT now once. You did take the ACT plus writing. You're planning on taking the ACT one more time, and your future test date is in October 2017. You're going to now pause and look up your ACT scores. The composite score is what you're looking for first, and then you're looking for the subject scores, so English and math. And the test date for your for your April ACT is going to be on the board. So go ahead and pause and fill in each of these scores now. For right now, the date is going to all be the same. We can update these scores when you get your updated test scores next month. Okay, so at this point, all of your scores should be put in. That date that's up on the board is April 19th, 2017 for your SAT test, for your ACT test date. And you should just copy each of your section scores. Go ahead and click continue. So you have now sat down for the SAT twice. You have all taken the SAT with essay. For most of you, you do not plan on taking the SAT again. If you are interested in taking the SAT again, come and talk with me and Ms. Sanchez so that we can talk about what that option looks like. And so this is where it's a little bit tricky, but you're going to do your best. So you're going to pull up your SAT scores, and you're looking for the highest scores on each section. So for example, if my 2 scores for the reading and writing were, let's say, a 490 and a 500, my highest score would be that 500, and that's the one that I'm going to put it. If I did that highest score in the October test date, then I'm going to put October 7th, 2017. Let's say my two scores for the math were a 450 and a 500. That means that my higher score is the 500. If I did that, if I earned that 500 on the March test date, then I'm going to put that date in here. So for my math date, I'm going to put March 11th, 2017. For your essay scores, you'll look at the bottom of your score reports. You'll get 3 numbers, and you're going to add them together. And you're looking for your highest combined essay score. So if my 3 scores, let's say, were all 6s, 6 plus 6 plus 6 will give me a score of 18. And if that was my highest score on the October test date, then I'll put the October 7th, 2017 test date and move on. So I'm not actually reporting both of my scores, like all of my scores from each test date. I'm just putting the highest score. And then you can move on. For the AP tests, let's say I took AP US History last year. You took all of your AP tests in May. And then if you only took AP tests last year, then it would be 2017. If you had multiple tests, let's say you took one your sophomore year, you would put May 2016. So I took United States History, and I'm going to report my score on that test. Let's say I also took AP Spanish Language my sophomore year, and I got a 4 on it, then I'll report that score as well. If you haven't taken any AP tests, that's okay. You can put 0 and move on. Okay, we're moving right along. So at this point, you should have 4 green check marks. We're moving on to the activities section. You're going to be reporting activities about what you've done outside of the college classroom. As a reminder, we've written these down in your application workbook, or you should have written these down in your application workbook under your extracurricular list. This can be anything that you've done. It includes babysitting, it includes working, it includes a club that you've participated in or a sport team that you've participated in. Hopefully you've written your responses here, and it should just be an easy copy and paste thing. So you're going to click yes. And you're going to fill in that information here. It should have the same exact answers to the questions that you've written in your college application workbook. So go ahead and type those up now. Okay, so I filled in just a sample activity here for you to look at. I'm saying that I played on the badminton team at my high school. For a position in leadership, if you weren't like a team captain, you can just put something like team member. And if it's not applicable, if it's like you're an employee of a job and you didn't necessarily have a title, you can just put not applicable. Make sure in your description of the activity you are capitalizing the first words of sentences and that everything is spelled correctly. And you'll fill out your time that you should have written down on that extracurricular list on your application workbook. Sorry. Aside from that, the last question, do you intend to participate in a similar activity in college? If you do, you can check yes. If not, you can check no. And you can, let me go back. If you have more than just one activity, you can click add another. You can only add up to 10 activities. So if you're wondering what types of activities to put, if you have more than 10, call me or Ms. Sanchez over and we'll help you out. Okay, you should have now 5 green check marks. You're going to go on to the writing section. You're going to check I understand. And that's kind of it for this section. There's going to be one more quick video to just walk you through the last steps. So go ahead and pause now.